And today is literally my first live stream of Kerbal Space Program, and I'm going to do it. Yeah, well, as you see, it's completely fresh install. I'm going to do it vanilla, so it's absolutely no mods installed, none whatsoever. And yeah, well, we'll just find out how it goes. First, I need to come up with a name. Just give it the name Stream X. I mean, the first stream, and it sounds cool. At least I think it is. I want, let me see, Kerbals level up immediately. That would be nice because then I can use their extras when they unlock things. I want to require a signal for control so I can set up my kind of a relay network if desired. And I want a plasma blackout because that will be realistic. I see nothing. Oh, wait, missing crew respawn. Now, if they're done, they're done. They don't. Okay, so let's pick a good flag. I should, let me see, go for the green one. Let's go to trees. Yeah, that will be nice. The green, wait, no, going for the integrated. I think it's sleeker. Okay, let's start. So let's see, I got all the graphics on the highest settings and I want to see what happens. Seems okay. Okay, first off, let's go to our contract building and see. Gather scientific data from Kerbal, which is easy because you can do any science experiment there is and send it or keep it, whatever you want. And then, yeah, we got the contract completed. And obviously we want to launch our first vessel as well, because that's an easy one. Okay, first up I'm going to set the music and the master audio a bit lower because it's very loud. Okay, so resume. Okay, next up is, yeah, well, let's get some science up. Let's get some science, see what things, what we can come up with. Okay, so we got here our stock first vessel. It's obviously the Mark 1. And we're going to put the science container on it. And, well, yeah, let's see what happens if we put our first Jebediah Kerman inside. Let's see what happens. I hope he likes the spaceship. It's a new one. It's a new one. Everything is shiny inside. So, well, let's see if we can get some science here. Oh, the happy sauce. Oh, yep. Oh, there it is. There it is. Let's see. There he is. Look at him. He's enjoying the view. Lying on his back. And can we see? Oh yeah, we can see him. Hello, Jeb. Okay, we got some things to do here. First up, let's observe the mystery goo and see. It gives us 3 science. If we recover it, if we transmit it, we only get 1.3 science. But we cannot transmit it because we don't have a transmitter in. I'm sorry. So we're going to keep the experiment and let's do a crew report. Oh no, first let's give Jeb some light because it's in there. So let's do a crew report and then see. You recorded the crew's assessment of the situation. Well, let's keep the experiment as well. And then there is we are on the launch pad, so there is a biome of the launch pad. We can get some EVA of it. So there we are. Let's do an EVA report. Well, no. The spacesuit wasn't necessary at all. But you know, safety first. It's retarded, so let's keep it. and then store the data in the pod. Okay, so now yeah, we got another. Nope, it's the same one. It's the same one. Doom. Boom. Grab. That's it. Now we're going to board. And I guess there's tons of other signs that we can grab here, but let's leave it for now and recover the vessel. So as we can see, we have 3 signs for Mystery Goo, 2.4 signs for an EVA report, and we got 1.5 signs for our simple crew report. And we got refunded all the material, all the hardware that was on the launch pad. Jebediah got 1 experience for doing literally nothing, but okay, he got the science. So now we got 8.9 science, and I think we can, yep, we can definitely research some new stuff. We got basic rocketry, which is handy because then we can actually launch something. And we have the science. Well, I think it's good to go with the science because then we get the communitron and we can transmit some science. So here we got the thermometer. Yeah, we need that one. We need the decoupler. Yeah, I guess we'll go for the engineering. Because you see here, we already got a little rocket here. And that's the only thing we need when we go for the first couple of launches. So let's go for the research. For the engineering, yeah, there are all sorts of handy things in there. So let's see if we got a new... Nope, we still don't because we need to launch our first vessel. So we got all contracts here, and we have little contracts which are just like this one. It's got 1 star, and we got hard contracts which are 3 stars. They're worth more money, more science, more experience. And yeah, so if we complete our first vessel, our first contract, then there will be more contracts available to us. So first, let's launch our first vessel. Let's see if we can build Jeb more of a nice spaceship. Okay, so we got this one. Yeah, we could. No, let's do it. Oh yeah, we have one. Okay, so we want to decouple and then put because then the entire ship is lighter when we're coming back. Okay, so we want to limit the thrust and we want to limit fuel because we only need to jump. It's a launch of our first vessel and it doesn't require any great power, or it's just a small little rocket. And do we need? Well, yeah, just put. Doesn't bother us. I think 2 are enough just to keep the air in a good way around the ship. And well, I guess we're done. Are we missing something? No, probably not. Science. Yeah, we got a thermometer which we can bolt up here. Oh, not a double one. We need only a single. And then we have a mystery goo container on the other side. Well, no, just swap them because I want to. You see, if the drag is on this side, more drag on this side means that the ship will tilt in that direction. So that's why I want to put that one there, because in the best case scenario we'll land in the sea because the capsule is not entirely for sea landings, but it can sea landings better than on the land. And Jeb gets less pain if we land. So here we go. Doppler. And well, yeah, I guess we're there. Yeah, let's swap this one around. Got more sleeker feeling. Okay, so that's the thing we need. I guess it's time for lunch then. We got Jeb in there. Yep, we got Jeb. See, the experience level rose a bit when we did our first EVA things. Okay, so let's launch our vessel and see what happens. Doom ba doom boom ba doom boom boom boom. Okay, so we're on launch pad. As you can see, we got all these ones completed. We have the first EVA at home. We have the first of our experiments done. Paid out, that was our contract. And yeah, see, we completed our contract, so which is nice, which is always nice. The next, launch our first vessel. Well, so that's the thing we're going to do. Let's put the SAS on so the ship remains stable in air, and give it a slight, just point it roughly towards the 90 degrees angle, because then we'll get launched straight towards and straight towards the sea, because the sea is over there, as you can see. So let's launch our first vessel and see what happens. Good luck, Jeb. Let's do the temperature scan. Keep the data. Observe mystery goo. Keep the data. Decouple. And then deploy the parachute. We didn't make it to the sea, unfortunately, but there goes our rocket. It goes with a big boom. Here we go. Wow. Goodbye. Wow. Jebediah was scared. A big explosion. This is a message: don't physics warp. Because when you have really big rockets and you do the physics warp, the things will shake and shred to pieces. So yeah, we're coming down, and on a nice yellow orangey parachute, and the speed is good. The speed is good. Jeb will get a little back. We'll get some pain in the back, I suppose, when we land. But hey, we got to return to the surface and do another launch, which is good for Jeb. Okay, here we go. Here we come, and touchdown. So as we're sitting on the ground, I guess, because this is, whoa, the rocket really did survive. I guess it's the ring that has been broken. The decoupler ring is broken and the rocket is still there. Well, then we get some funds back. So anyway, as we are in a different biome, I guess, because we're not on the launch pad anymore, I guess we can do some extra experiments, like a crew report. We got ourselves a crew report. We cannot, because, well, this one worth more science, so we'll keep that one, and we'll do another temperature recording as we leave the rocket again, as we launch again. So we can do an EVA report again, and I store the experiments. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Yep, let's go. EVA report, and no, it's the same, so we'll just keep it. Grab board and recover the vessel. Let's see what we got here. I'm sorry, I'm still having a little bit of a cold, so that's why my voice is not entirely perfect. And as we can see, we got a bunch of science, we got a bunch of refunds, and yeah, well, I think we can do no XP gain, because, yeah, well, we already did that one. So as you can see, we got a bunch of contracts extra in our at our disposal. So which one is good at the, well, see, test the flea engine on the launch site. That's the engine we used on the previous launch. So that will be easy. That's easy money and easy science. So we will pick that one. And this one is, no, it's too high. We can't reach it with our solid rocket booster, so just don't use it yet. Let me see, temperature survey. Well, that is nice if you got a plane, but not if you have a rocket. So Let's test the flea engine again. Well, that's this one, and we can leave this one up. And now the only thing we need to do is put more solid fuel in there so the rocket burns longer. The speed was good, because if we increase the thrust limiter too much, then you sorts of aerodynamic stresses on the plane, on the rocket, and then it will disintegrate if things get really ugly. So just increase the solid fuel and leave the thrust limiter for now. And yeah, we need to do a temperature scan as well on the launch pad, because we did one earlier on. And let's see, Kerbal launch site. Yeah. Okay, so let's do the same launch again, but then with more fuel, and let's complete our tutorial. And here we are again. Jeb, you ready for second launch? Oh wait, we need to do the temperature scan. Keep it 2.4, and the last one was 5.6, so this we got more signs from it. Okay, so what did it say? Okay, well, to perform the test, activate the part through the staging. Okay, so we just need to start the engine. Here we go. You see that I point the rockets roughly towards the sea. It picks up some speed, Report. Yeah, that report of the oceans. We can do the temperature scan. No, because wait, let me see if it's better. No. Well, now we wait to arrive in the sea. Okay, so now I think it's safe to decouple, point our backs in the wind, and wait a little bit, itsy bitsy longer for the parachute to open. Now is a good time, because otherwise it takes so long. Okay, that's nice. There goes the rocket. There goes the rocket. Goodbye. Splashdown. Goodbye. Now let's see if we can make a softer landing out of this. And nope, we still got that one. We cannot EVA yet, because we need to upgrade our astronaut complex. So we're here in the water, as you can see, floating blue. Now we can do our temperature, and we got 3.2 signs. And we can do our crew report. Nope. Let's EVA first, and then I'll show something else. Just do an EVA report, keep it, store the experiment, but then, now comes the trick, we need to take the data and store the experiments again. So you got a complete list of everything that we've done. So, and when we board now, we can do a crew report, which says you record the crew's assessment of the situation, but then this time in the water, and we'll keep it. So as you can see, we got more signs, and by just doing all the same thing over and over again, but then in a different location, different biomes, it all gives you some hard needed science to get started. So let's recover the vessel again and see what we can buy or research at the moment. See, we have a complete bunch of science again. We got our parts refunded. And well, look at this. We got 47 signs out of this, and we got 122,000 Kerbal dollars. I suppose they're called that. I don't know. It's called currency, or I don't know how they call it, but I call it Kerbal dollars. So let's look in the research tree. We got a liquid fuel engine, which is nice because we can turn it on or off, and we can throttle it, so we can give more power to the engine or less power to the engine. And then we got our solid fuel. It's practically the same as the first one, but then a lot bigger. Got more power, more fuel. So that's nice. We want that one. So then we got 3 options, and the first one I'm going to look at is survivability. and this one is very needed, so to say, because when we reach space and we'll get back in the atmosphere, things will get ugly and hot. So that's why we need the heat shields. We also got the barometer, we got the radiators, we got the landing struts, which is very small but useful if you want to land on the moon or whatever we want to do. We got some radial parachutes and the service bay. The stability tab is, well, handy because you got bigger winglets, and the stability tab finally, or how they say that, eventually lead to aviation stuff like plane parts, and well, all the interesting parts are here. And we got general rocketry, which does the Reliant liquid fuel engine, which is different because what we have here is the swivel engine and this is the Reliant. And the difference between the two are that this one is you with the engine, so you can make the rocket turn left and right and forward and back with this engine. And this one is stationary, so it cannot move, and therefore you need to steer the rocket with how do you call them, control surfaces, or yeah, the things that you use to, how do they call, wheels. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I'm sorry, English is not my native language, but I'm doing my best. So I guess we can take both. This one is not very interesting, not yet. We will need them, but not at the moment. So we'll go for survivability, and we'll go for general rocketry, because we got a bigger tank, and we got a huge solid rocket booster. I think we are not going to use the big solid rocket booster, but hey, maybe we can use it. So let's see, we got some new contracts probably. Escape the atmosphere. So breach the atmosphere by flying a vessel to an altitude of 70,000 meters, which respectively is 70 kilometers. And we got a bunch of science, and we a lot of money for it, and we need that to upgrade our space. The Kerbal launch complex. We need to upgrade the launch pad, vehicle assembly building. That's the entire purpose of career mode. So we're going to accept this contract and see if there's anything we can do. Yeah, we can orbit, but that one is not. We cannot use it at the moment. We need to wait for that a little bit longer. Yeah. So well, that's it. So as you can see, when you accept the contract, you get an advance payment. You get paid in advance, so you can, it's funding parts. It partially funds your rocket, and when you complete the mission, you get more of it. So that's the easy part. And now, let me see. Yeah, okay, so that's nice. So now we are going to build a rocket which goes a bit higher, so we can get more science out of it. And I am thinking about putting together a liquid fueled engine rocket, and to do safely we need to put an, as you can see, this is a heat shield with ablating tiles on it. Okay, so let's see, it covers it up nicely. So we got our liquid fuel, and then put our liquid. I think for the I'm going to build the rocket in 2 stages. So this is the upper stage, and then we're going to separate it, and then make the big stage, which has a swivel engine to turn the things around and some fins, because without them, well, the rocket will be under, I guess. I guess we're going to get pretty high with this one. Can I deselect? Yes, okay, that's good. So we got that one, the bottom one, then it gets separated to reach the engine, and then we can decouple and come back to Earth safely. Do we have some science? Yeah, we can use the pressure. Oh, not 4 times, I only 1 time. And, well, let's swap these around, because, as you know, we want to be pointed leftward. See. So let's test things out and see if Jeb likes the new plan, the new rocket. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so everything's done. And, oh yeah, oh, we can do the pressure data. Keep it. And that's a bummer, because if we fly high, so we can toggle the display, the pressure on ground level. And I think we're going to repeat the experiment, because when we're flying we'll get more experience from it. So here we go. Well, Jeb, enjoy your flight, the first flight using liquid engines. So when we reach 70 meters per second, we'll give the rocket a bit of offset and then turn off the SAS. And then it follows itself in. It slowly will fall to the right, and that's because of the gravity. And when we reach our max Q, you will see some arrow on the rocket. And let's do temperature scan. We already did that one. Okay, so we're nearly burned out. Let's decouple and start our second engine, which we need to. That's what you get when you don't turn SAS on. Which stands for Stability Assist System. Okay, so now we are going to throttle back and let the rocket climb higher and higher and higher, and I guessing we can reach space with this easy made rocket. Let's turn over some more. Let's turn the rocket more. As you can see, I'm slowly turning the rocket around with my gyroscopes inside the capsule, because the engine is not turning and we don't have any how do you call it? We don't have RCS. Let's turn off the engine and let it coast up to space for a while, so we can use the remnant of the liquid fuel to brake the rocket when we enter the atmosphere, or maybe we can get a little bit further out. I mean, the game looks amazing. I mean, look at it. It's vanilla. I've played, and we're in space. I've done a couple of I played it a couple of times heavily modded, which makes the game even more beautiful. But even in this stock setup, the game looks amazing. Okay, so are we falling down already? I guess not. So let's wait for the last burn. When the vertical speed is dropping, that means we're almost reaching our periapsis, our highest point in the in our line of flight, which is called the periapsis. No, I'm sorry, it's the apoapsis. And then so that we need to wait. We nearly reach the apoapsis, and then I'll burn the last pieces of liquid fuel that's inside the tanks, so that we got a big boost. In that way, we got the biggest boost. We can travel the longest distance with the remaining fuel we got, and we're still climbing. I guess we should have turned over the rocket earlier. Let's do a crew report now. We can do crew report, yeah, and keep the science. We're nearly at the top point of our big jump in space, I must say. That's the sun shining on our little spacecraft. And as you can see, Jeb is dancing, he's cheering, he's having a great time in there. We can, yeah, well, let's look at Jeb. How is he doing? He is dancing, he's enjoying it, he's enjoying the flight. Nice. Okay, we can have a look. Maybe we can turn the ship around. Oh, there is Earth. There is Earth. I must Kerbin. I'm sorry, Kerbin. So yeah. Well, let's see what happens. And I guess it's almost done. Outside view again. We're almost at apoapsis. And I guess we could burn now. We go full throttle. And that's it. So we made a bigger jump. So we have increased the distance we can travel. Therefore also the path into the atmosphere is less steep. So that's why we will make a less hard re-entry. So now it's time to decouple. And yeah, let's wave our engines goodbye. Goodbye there. Okay, so now it's time to point our spaceship in the right direction. I think I'm going to the reaction wheels. They need to react a bit slower because otherwise we would have tumbled around. And now we're slowly drifting towards retrograde vector. There it is. Okay, so now it's yeah, we can now turn on the SAS again, and let's wait for the re-entry. And we are watching. We are the altitude drops. And when the altitude drops, we can so space near Kerbal starts at 70 kilometers, and at the moment we're at 102 and 100 kilometers up. So we need to wait a bit longer to actually start seeing re-entry effects. And let's hope Kerbal, let's hope Jebediah survives this, because we have what I used to call it a really steep entry, and as you can see it's a pretty steep drop. So let's hope that he survives it. There's our little engine. And now we still wait. Oh, we are re-entering because the music stopped. I'm going to turn up the wheel authority a bit higher, because then we got more power to steer our spacecraft in the thicker atmospheres. So here comes the re-entry heat. At the this partially dark line, this blue part, then you can start hearing some air. So you can now hear the air passing past this capsule. You can see things burning. The speed is rising. The speed is still high, and we're dropping like crazy. As you can see, we are re-entering at the moment, and I guess it's going to be a splashdown. My guess was okay. Here goes the rocket, and it will explode in a couple of seconds. Goodbye. It crashes in the ground, and we're landing relatively soft in the ocean. So let's do a crew report. See if we can do a crew report. No, we can't because there's still one inside the ship. Okay, so is it safe already? So there goes our rocket, and I guess it's safe to deploy at 3,000 meters. Yep, slows us down slowly, and then when we reach 1,000 or 700, no, for sure, it's 700. It opens completely as it unfolds. It slows us down, and the G-forces on Jebediah must be horrible. I mean, it was like almost 10 Gs. It was 9, I guess. So let's see what happens. We are still falling. Let's speed up this thing, and we nearly have a splashdown. Jeb, you're also water. Here we go. Hold on. Wow, that was a big splash again. So as you can see, we put more stuff on our ship, like the heat shield and the barometer, and so you can see that we're now the capsule is like and half the half of the spaceship is underwater, and the first landing we made on the water, it was just below the first the stairs. So yeah, you can actually see that the physics and the game is well made. So let's yeah, we got all the signs from this one. So I guess we'll just recover fast and see what we got. And here we are. We have, yeah, as you can see, we got 10 signs, 12 signs, 8 signs. We got a lot of signs, and in total we have 86, so that's nice. We got some parts refunded, which is good, and we earned a lot of money by completing the escape the atmosphere, because that earned us like 20,000. And well, yeah, there are also some, as we can see here, milestones, like that was our contract. Escape the atmosphere gave us 32,000. Flea engine, and here are all the milestones. As you can see, it's a lot, so we got a little from that. And I think it's safe to say that we can we can make the end of the live stream and continue the next time. So I'll see you soon, and